Alright, Murph 1911 back once again with another gun review, and this one is of the Walther P22. It is a 22 caliber semi-automatic handgun. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I really do like this gun. I think it's probably about the best little 22 there is out there when it just comes in terms to plinking and having fun. It's by no means a marksman type gun, but just for overall fun, you get more of a combat looking pistol out of it, which to me is pretty cool. So that's why I like it so much. But again, just depends on what you like and what you think is cool. And yeah, like I showed you before, it's safety checked. Some of the pros about this gun, it's actually pretty darn light, which gives it a little more flip when you're shooting it, even though it's only a 22. The sights, they could use some improvement. That's just your standard 3-dot sights, which they are adjustable, but again, like I said, this is not a tack driving gun. It's just for fun, in my opinion. Maybe training applications, even though a lot of your larger caliber guns don't have like a mag release here, unless you're talking about an H&K or other Walthers. But it still gives you some trigger time, and for pretty cheap too, because anything I've ever put through this gun, it'll feed the crappy stuff, it'll feed the good stuff. It does not matter. It just puts it through there, which to me just makes it a cheap, fun gun. It actually does have your serrations up front, your serrations in back. Just overall very, very cool. And it has your ambidextrous safeties, which, for your lefties is pretty cool. The only thing I wish is that it also decocked the gun like a lot of other Walthers. So they have this little thing on top. It's called a loaded chamber indicator. It's a little bit hokey because you can't really see it if you'd be looking, and it's kind of a pointless little thing. They probably just did it, I don't know, to say they have one on there. But it's a single double action, which means you can pull the trigger back or pull the hammer back to get the single action. But if you do double action, obviously after that first pull, all the rest are going to be single action. It does have this little accessory rail. A lot of stuff won't fit on it because it is such a small gun, smaller barrel, but they do make a special laser just for this. Overall, it's just a fun little gun. I'd say if you're wanting to get a semi-automatic 22 that looks more like a conventional pistol, this would be the one I would pick. I would pick this over the Sig Mosquito. The Sig Mosquito is a little more finicky on ammo. A lot of people are like, oh, but it's a Sig. Yeah, but this is a Walther. Walther's known for the best barrels in the world, and they don't cheap out on their barrel even on this one. I've had a lot of rounds personally through this one. I've shot a couple others, and I've just never had a problem with them. I mean, every once in a while you do get some failures to feed, failures to eject, some misfires, but that's just, going with 22. 22 is just not the most reliable thing out there in the world. I'd pretty much say this is like the Ruger 1022 of the 22 pistol world. Just cool. I'd imagine that, they're just going to keep coming out with more accessories for it. It's just, a fun little gun. And something else to note on this is there are actually some magazines, can't remember which ones they are, but there are some magazines out there that actually ruin the extractor on this. I'd say just get on a forum about the Walther P22. They're always talking about it, and you can find out the little numbers that come with it, which are right here. They're probably not going to show up, but there's a bunch of little stuff, and there's designations for it, and they'll tell you the designations of the bad ones, so then you won't have to worry about it. And guess that's going to do it for this one. You know, again, it's just a fun little planking gun. Not something I would think you'd want to do concealed carry for. Not that I'm opposed to carrying a 22. I think it's a good option, unlike most people. But, you know, I'm going to be doing a review on what I think the best little 22 to carry would be. And this just wouldn't be it. I think there's just way better options out there that would be smaller, lighter, and, you know, pretty much almost would have the same magazine capacity. This one's 10. You know, pretty standard for a 22, especially just a little 22 planker. So, you know, until I get back at you again, this is Murph 1911 signing off. Walther P22.